Do you think Alpha Academy changes their name?
I don't think they have to, but I'll say no right now. I still like Alpha Academy.
I have
Like,
some
I mean,
I have some thoughts on like what could be booked. We don't have this on our cards, but just thinking through with the stuff that's happening with Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and uh
mhm,
Odyssey
the
Jones,
Final
and
Testament.
the Final Testament. Is there a way where Xavier Woods ends up teaming up with Otis and Tozawa and kind of coming up with like their own kind of faction?
Mhm. I mean,
Because, like,
like I said,
Xavier has like his moments with both of those guys, and he's like, "Oh, Tozawa, that's
yeah, yeah,
nasty." And so, like, it just seems like maybe Xavier is like disappointed that like Kofi seems ready to kind of embrace a new member of the New Day when it's like, "Yo, what happened to Big E? That's New
mhm,
Day. This ain't New Day." And it's not like Kofi is called Odyssey Jones New Day. Like he says, like the New Day, me and Xavier Woods are going to team up with Odyssey Jones. So it's like he doesn't include him in the New Day, but you can see Xavier's doing some great acting that
yeah.
he
Greatest
he's
supporter,
not
greatest supporting right
he's
now. I'll go
not
with
he's
that.
not entirely 100% with this. And I'm not I see where they're doing. It feels a little too scripted and intentional that I hope is not the direction that they're going with. But it's curious. If I had to put it anywhere, I put this somewhere. I probably put this in medium mid rising.
Yeah. Um,
Xavier is doing a lot of the
it's
lifting on this.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and which he should be because he's the one who's like been there. You know, Kofi was out injured, and like the whole program was worked like more towards Xavier anyway.
Yeah,
So like it's a slow burn. Like obviously, you know, I was cooked on this a while ago, but it's like okay, we were waiting for Kofi to get back. Clearly, it's like the second he was back on team or you know back from injury, it's like all right, cool. Like now this story is making sense. But um yeah, I still got it in. I have it in shake right now, just that. But
yeah.
that shake would be Xavier Woods' greatest supporting actor of Raw. That's what I would probably would have wrote in Notion Doc for sure. Because yeah, it has been his facial expressions. You know what I'm saying? He's doing the
Yeah.
heavy lifting. It makes sense in kayfabe because Odyssey Jones don't even know them like that, so he don't know Xavier. Like
I
he ain't
just
used to his
what I struggle with
mannerisms.
the storyline is like is Kofi this oblivious to his actions? And I'm like, I can't believe it. It just feels that's where it feels a little
Yeah,
too
yeah,
scripted. I'm like,
yeah,
Kofi is not this oblivious to what he is doing and how rude he's coming off. Just cutting off
yeah,
Xavier and like just like doing things. So like that's where I'm like, this is definitely out of character within Kofi. That I don't believe that it definitely feels like they're leaning into a split. But if I had to do my fantasy booking, and I'm hoping that I can clip this if I'm right, I
no,
think
no, not if you right. No, no, we only
no, I'm
taking these
saying like
books out when
no, I'm
we
not saying I'm
right.
gonna change it or anything. I'm not gonna go back on
No,
my word. I'm not having a retraction like somebody talked about earlier this week. I'm just saying that like I'm hope
way to
I'm right
step
that
on
I
my
can.
shit. Way to step on it. Way to step on it. But all right.
I'm just saying I hope that I'm right so I can do the same thing that I did this week and clip it up and just be like, look, I said exactly how I said this thing was gonna play out. That's all I'm saying. I just want to be right.
Of course, we all
But
want
I'm
to be right.
hoping what happens is that Kofi and Xavier go through couples therapy.
Mm.
And
Oh, go through. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, it's your booking. Your
I
booking.
think what this is, I think this is a fan storyline, not a fan storyline, but this is something to get fans on board that the New Day needs to change because Big E is not coming back.
Hmm.
And
Just make it solidify it.
I think that's what Xavier is struggling with is change. And that he doesn't feel that like, yo, what are you doing bringing in new people and changing things up within the judgment and within the New Day? And I think they need to kind of go through like couples therapy, but I think a lot of it comes down to Xavier realizing that like, it's okay to move forward. It's okay for like the New Day to evolve and, bring on a new generation of the New Day. And so maybe Big E is like the therapist in that situation. I don't know, but I just see it as like there's a way to make it seem like that they're going to break up when really it's a storyline for not only Xavier in this place, but for the fans to be like, hey, the New Day's not dead. Just because Big E's not here doesn't mean that the New Day's dead. Because even Big E was like, yo, Odyssey Jones looks like that dude. Props to you. He's all supportive of Odyssey Jones. And so a lot of it could be just like, hey, we all know we love the original New Day, but sometimes we gotta evolve it. And just because we bring in Odyssey Jones, because if you just bring in Odyssey Jones and call him the New Day, it's like people are not gonna just as a fan, you can be like, that's not the New Day. So you got to do something where it's like, hey, how do we make it an emotional storyline to kind of basically say like, hey, he's basically unofficially retired. Retired. He ain't coming back. And we as an audience, as a fans, gotta, be one with that. And, be happy about this new evolution of New Day. So that's my future booking. What you
Okay.
think?
No, that's cool. It's just I had a knee jerk reaction of like when you said couples therapy because I was trying to remember like which because they've done like that was even recently like within the last 5 or 6 years or something where they've done like a I feel like a therapy type of segment before, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember like who like was in that. Oh, it was a no. This is Team Hell No. Remember Team Hell No?
Yeah.
Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan and Kane when they were in they were in a couples therapy or tag team
Yeah.
therapy. So yeah, I could see that for sure. But instead of taking the comedic route, I think that's what it'll be because you got to give it like this is the acting chops. You got to give the acting chops up to like Xavier Woods. That like,
Hmm.
all right, if we're going with that booking, then this is like I feel like that's really gonna make him um a star out of that if we are doing a new dynamic on it. Obviously,
Yeah.
this is also to make Odyssey Jones, but I think this is more so just a rub for him. Just working with Xavier
Yeah.
and Kofi. But the last thing would be like, I also had the thought. I was like, Odyssey Jones could come out of this looking like a massive heel, but then again, I think that's just that same energy is the energy they want us to give to Karrion Cross.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's going to be felt more on Odyssey Jones, just because, like you said, we have an emotional connection to Big E where we don't have to the Final Testament, and they're trying to siphon off of that. So that's where my mind goes. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and again, if we
interesting.
don't believe carrying cross in the judgment day of not the judgment day, but the final testament of what they're saying, and now it feels like it's working. And it's
Hmm.
like not only were you wrong, they came back stronger than ever.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like at once they were just two people, and you like, oh, I could split those two. Now they added another person, and now you got 3-on-3 match. AOP and carrying cross versus New Day and the New Day.
Yeah,
But again, it also just seems like I can see Xavier turning on him, Kofi being like, "What? How could I?" And again, if Xavier turns on Kofi, it's understandable. Who's the heel in
yeah.
that situation?
Hmm.
It's Kofi because you've made Kofi this oblivious doof that doesn't realize he's stepping over his friend. And so I'm like, yeah, Xavier has all the right to turn on him. So
For
am
sure.
I? Who am I? Who am I? Who's the heel in that situation?
It's still
So
gonna
that's
be
where I'm like, it
Xavier
doesn't really
though,
make
because
sense.
I think it'll be a bubbling over situation we're looking at, where they lose the match or something, lose a significant match or something. Maybe he takes the loss, but it's obviously going to be due to chemistry issues. But once again, if we were to believe this storyline, then or not believe it, but just follow it, and like you said, Xavier's been doing great. He's going to be the heel, obviously, because still that reaction to him, you know, hitting Kofi with like a kendo stick or something in the back, whatever it is going to be like, oh no, from the fans' reaction, in the stadium, like without a doubt, like that you don't
For
want that.
Xavier to be a heel in this situation, he would Kofi at some point needs to acknowledge that he's been a dick.
You said he would need to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. If we're to be smart about it, sure. But right now,
Like if he doesn't acknowledge it and then Xavier just
yeah, if he's
snaps
just
and then turns
oblivious, yeah.
and it's just like, yeah, you have all the right to snap on Kofi like that. Because he's been a
But we're
complete dick for like months to you. An oblivious dick to you for months. And so if Kofi at some point is like, yo, I've looked back at the tape, I've seen the messages on social media, and they's right. I have not been a good friend to you the last few months. I've stepped over you, I've taken the mic, I've made decisions without consulting you, and I feel bad for you as a friend. And then they go out and they lose that 6-man tag to the Final Testament, and then Xavier snaps. Then Xavier is a heel. But up until that point, like at this moment right now, like is Xavier really the bad guy? Other than
no,
like he
you're
turned on his
talking
friend.
about nuance right now. That's what you're talking. Because yes, he is still the heel. Yes, he is obviously. So
Okay,
that's
okay,
you're just talking about nuance. I
okay.
understand what you're saying, but that reaction from the crowd is they're gonna boo Xavier the second that he does it, regardless of when it happens. Like they just don't want to see it.
He's
You know
gonna
what I
be a
mean?
good
So
heel because when he's playing that saxophone or that trombone as a heel,
yeah.
that that's gonna be fun. So
See, that's peak New Day. See, you're pulling at my heartstrings. Like, just reminding me of that. That's like with Big E and them, like coming out with the unicorn horn strapped
uh-huh.
to their foreheads, and like, or the WrestleMania entrance when they come out of the Booty-O cereal box. That's like one of the
Yeah.
best fucking entrances ever, bro. Like, but yeah, I don't want to see. Oh, y'all can't break up. See, like that now. This
That's
is
why
the
I
little
said
kid
they
in me as we're talking
need the
about this. See,
therapy. They need the therapy. It's a storyline to get us over the fact that Big E is not coming back, and we need a new version of the New Day.
hmm but
New Day bloodline. New Day bloodline. That's what this is.
yeah,
Like eventually, Kofi and Xavier are both gonna have to graduate, and then they're gonna have to get Javon Evans and someone else to pair with Odyssey Jones, and bam, New Day 3.0, 2.0, whatever you want to call it.
hmm
It's just like, yeah, that's how we evolve this. New Day never dies. Stay alive.